So the problem with the energy recovery within the system can be illustrated graphically by plotting the temperature enthalpy curve, so which is known as the composite curve also. So in order to do that, cold and hot streams shall be treated separately, and then the temperature intervals may be decided similar to the problem table algorithm method. Consider the stream for the process defined in table 1. This is the table 1. The temperature interval for the hot stream can be illustrated as shown in figure. So first let's consider about the hot fluid. So we have two stream of the hot fluid. First from 440 to 140, which is number 4. So for stream number 4, the temperature is going to be from 440 to the 140 with a heat capacity of 27. For the hot fluid number 5, the temperature is going to be from 510 to 300. So from 510 to, this shows the 300. Okay. Now again, dividing or creating an interval of temperature for the hot fluid only. So for the hot fluid, we know that the minimum temperature is 140. So from 140 to 300, then 300 to 440, then 440 to 510. Okay. Suppose that the temperature interval is beginning from the lowest temperature to the highest temperature. The temperature intervals with respect to the streams, heat capacity rates and enthalpy are also shown in table. Three temperature intervals are found. So this is the 3 temperature interval only for the hot fluid. So from the graph we can see that from 140 to 300. So here from the graph you can see that from 140 to 300. So this is our 140. This is our 300. So between 140 to 300 there is only one stream, which is stream number 4. Now between 300 and 440. So this is 300 and this is our 440. So between 300 and 440 there are two streams, which is stream number 4, this is stream number 5. And between 440 to 510, so between 440 to 510 there is only one stream, which is stream number 5. Okay. So between 140 to 300, stream number 4, between 300 and 440, 4 plus 5, and between 440 to 510 only 5. Now these are the heat capacity, which is given in a table 27, 4 plus 5, so that 27 plus 24, which is 51. Now for only 5, which is 24. Now how to calculate this enthalpy delta H? So we can easily calculate by delta T into summation of this heat capacity. So this is 27, temperature difference is going to be 300 minus 140. Here it is going to be 51 in bracket 440 minus 300. Here in bracket 24 in bracket 510 minus 440, then we will get this value of delta H. Okay. Now from this value of enthalpy and the temperature, we can generate this graph, temperature versus enthalpy graph. So in a table, the enthalpy flow or any temperature interval can be calculated as the product of the temperature difference and the sum of the heat capacity rates. Okay. Now the composite curve for the hot stream indicating the enthalpy temperature diagram can be drawn for the each temperature. Since enthalpy is a relative value, then the enthalpy for the first point can be assumed to be 0. Okay. So for the first point, let us assume the enthalpy is 0. So this is our first point. The temperature is 140 to 300. So suppose this is a axis of temperature. So this is suppose 140. The temperature is going to be 140 to 300. This is 300. Then 300 to 440. So this is 300 to 440 and then 440 to 510. So in these three intervals, first the enthalpy is going to be 4320. For second interval, the enthalpy is 7140. For the third interval, it is 1680. Okay. So this is the steps which is followed for the hot stream. Now similar steps is going to be followed for the cold streams. So for the cold stream, we can also treat it in the same way. So there are 3 cold stream. The temperature interval is going to be from 90 to 170, from 170 to 200, from 200 to 350, 350 to 390 and 390 to 420. Similarly, first from 90 to 170, so as you can see from 90 to 170, there is only one stream, which is stream number 1. from 170, so this is 170, from 170 to 200 there is a 2 stream which is 1 and 2. Similarly for this 3 interval, similar calculation are made for the enthalpy. Now if we put both the curve on the same graph of temperature and enthalpy, this curve is for the hot fluid which shows the 3 interval. This is for the cold fluid which shows the 5 interval, 1, 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5. Now what is the conclusion from this graph? So the temperature enthalpy diagram can now be included in composite curve of the hot stream. The result is this shown in figure. The illustration of the temperature interval for the cold stream can be found in the figure. Okay, so the pinch point. So from this graph we can find out the pinch point. The pinch point is the point where the temperature difference between the two stream is minimum. So here from this two graph we can see that at this point the temperature difference between these two stream is minimum. So this is the pinch point. So the pinch point is the pinch point in the curve is the point where the smallest temperature difference between the hot composite and cold composite curve as indicated in figure. So for this example the pinch point is something here. The external cooling and external heating are difference between the curves under and above the pinch point respectively. The overlapping area, so these are the area from this point to this point, these are the area between the hot composite and cold composite curve is the heat duty which is transferred in the heat recovery heat exchanger. Now the placement of the cold composite curve is determined by magnitude of delta T minimum. So from this graph you can find out the value of delta T minimum. So if you want to increase the value of delta T minimum, you have to shift this cold composite curve to the right hand side. Okay, so to increase the value of delta T minimum means the cold composite curve is shifted sideways in the enthalpy direction. Okay, so from this graph you can find out that according to delta T minimum what kind of inputs of the fluids you are going to provide to utilize maximum energy from the system. Okay, so this is the pinch technology or pinch analysis. In this graph, this line and this line, this Q heat, which shows the value of hot side heat utility, and this value Q cool shows the cold side heat utility which you need to provide externally to achieve a required output. Now what are the different steps for the pinch analysis? So a well-defined stepwise procedure shall be followed in any pinch analysis problem, whether it is new project or it is a retrofit situation. Existing project is used to be where existing project is used to be updated. The first step is to identification of the cold stream, hot stream and the utilities of the project. Thermal data extraction from the stream and utilities. Delta T minimum value selection, that how much temperature difference you want, minimum temperature difference you want between the two streams. Composite curve and grand composite curve constructions. Minimum energy cost target estimation, capital cost target estimation, optimum delta T minimum value estimation, because as the value of delta T minimum is going to be reduced, the size of the heat exchanger required is going to be increased, which increase the capital cost. Practical targets for the heat exchanger design estimation, heat exchanger network design estimations, heat exchanger network design. So what are the benefits? Now let's discuss what are the benefits and the application area of pinch technology. So one main advantage of pinch technology over the other traditional method is the ability of pinch technology to set capital cost, energy recovery targets for a sub process or entire process ahead of design. Before making a design you can estimate the overall cost. Old energy studies can be replaced by pinch technology simulation so that the information can be easily updated. It helps to avoid unnecessary capital cost before the projects are implemented. Practical target settings. Theoretical targets can be modified by taking into account practical restrictions, safety, difficult handling of fluids, temperature limits and pressure limit, etc. Determination of opportunities for combined heat and power process. Power cost reduces significantly with well-designed combined heat and power system. Pinch technology shows the best possible CHP system that matches the hydrodynamic target on the site. Deciding what can be done with the low-grade waste heat, pinch technology shows which waste heat stream can be recovered efficiently. So, in our today's lecture, we have discussed about the pinch technology, or we can say that the pinch analysis. Generally, in our course of design of heat exchanger, we need to study only introduction to pinch technology. But without considering any example, it is very difficult to understand how this pinch technology or pinch analysis is work. So, in our today's lecture, we have considered one example. But for our syllabus, for design of heat exchanger, we just need to understand what is the basic steps for the pinch analysis or pinch technology. We do not need to go study in a detail of this method. So that's it for today. Thank you so much.